Welcome to your first set of notes for human geography, the why and where. Our essential question for today is what is the difference between human and physical geography? So by the end of the notes, you will be able to answer this question with confidence. As we walk through this presentation, what you should be doing is filling out the fill-in-the-blank versions of your notes that you found on Schoology. So geography is more than just memorizing maps and capitals. Geography is the study of how things are organized and how they relate to one another on the surface of the earth. Geography is both a science and an art, and it's an all-encompassing subject. When I talk about geography, specifically human geography, I like to say that it's a mashup of pretty much everything that you study in social studies. It's a little bit of physical geography, world history, US history, political science, economics, psychology, sociology, and anthropology. So, in geography, we oftentimes look at a lot of maps in order to determine information. This first map talks about geography and alcohol. So it shows the average age of consumption for people 15 and older, or how much consumption, so how much people drink, right? The darker the red, the more alcohol they consume. So, for example, Europe and Russia consume more alcohol than the United States and Canada for people ages 15 and over. Whereas compared to, if you look at Northern and Central Africa, right, they consume way less alcohol than the United States and Canada for age 15 and older. This map shows what your generic term for sweetened carbonated beverage is. So when you go to the restaurant or the store and you would like to purchase something, are you looking to buy a water, soda, pop, a Coke, a soft drink in general? What do you call that thing? Here in Minnesota, the majority of people call it a pop, right? If you go over to Wisconsin and go to Milwaukee, everybody calls it a soda. If you go down south, if you go to Louisiana, everything is a Coke. Go to a restaurant and they say, well, what kind of Coke would you like? That's when you can say Coca-Cola, talking about a regular Coke, or you can say, I would like a Sprite. Taking a look at how geography and dating are used on this map. The larger the circle, the more single men or the more single women are in an area. Okay. If I was a single female and I wanted to increase my dating pool and I was interested in men, I would take a look at the west coast of the United States where there is more single males, right? Los Angeles, Long Beach, Santa Ana area have the largest male plurality. Okay. Let's say I was interested in females. I would want to take a look at the East Coast, right? Where New York, Newark, New Jersey, Connecticut have the largest single female area. Geography and Facebook. Okay. This map shows the usage of Facebook throughout the world. You'll notice that the United States and Europe make up the majority of Facebook users, but then you have dark out areas for Russia and China. Okay, that's because the government limits access to Facebook in those countries, so there is very little usage. Okay, geography and football. It's fall, football season's starting. Okay, this map shows what team people root for depending on where they live. So in Minnesota here, this map is showing the majority of people are Vikings players. They're Vikings fans. When you move over to Wisconsin, everybody roots for the Packers. Okay. Iowa does not have a national football team. So depending on where you live in Iowa will kind of depend on who you are going to root for. Okay. Geography and music. Same sort of thing. Goes by the most favorite artist in each state. This was from like 10 years ago, by the way. Geography and happiness. Okay. The darker the purple category, the higher the percent. People are thriving in at least 3 different categories for how they measured happiness. You will notice that all of these maps are showing you a common theme. They are using a physical description of a place, in this case the location on a map, to communicate some sort of information to you, the viewer. Okay, so what's the difference between human and physical geography? Physical geography studies our planet and its physical and environmental systems. Human geography, on the other hand, studies the manner in which people organize and interact on Earth. So why do we study geography? Well, we study geography because we are all connected to the Earth. We all live on planet Earth. Although sometimes it seems like we might live on Mars, I promise you, this is Earth. And the world is becoming more crowded, the environment is becoming more threatened, and the global economy is becoming more interconnected. In order to stay afloat in today's society, every single person needs to understand today's world. Okay? And in order to do so, you need to have high levels of competency in geography. You have to understand the world around you and what your role in that world is going to be. Geography brings sensitivity to location, scale, movement, patterns, resources, conflicts, maps, and geographics. When we look at the study of geography, we're essentially just asking a series of questions. Okay, we're asking, where is this issue taking place, or where is this topic taking place? Why is it important? Okay, and why is it happening? What is it? What is this specific issue that we're studying? Are we talking about immigration patterns? Are we talking about farming practices? Are we looking at building cities? Okay, what's going on? We should ask ourselves, why is it happening in this specific area? Okay, why do people in Minnesota call carbonated beverages pop, but people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin call it soda? Why do we care? Why is this an important issue and an important topic for you and I to talk about? And finally, how does it affect people? Okay. So again, just taking a look at the breakdown of human versus physical geography. Human geography is the study of language, religion, economy, population, migration, resource use, political, cultural, ethnicity, agriculture, and development, whereas physical geography is the study of vegetation, soil, climate, topography, and landforms. In middle school, you guys talked a lot about physical geography. In high school, we're going to focus on our human geography. But in order to understand human geography, you have to have a solid foundation of physical geography. So when I talk about things that are happening in Western Europe, you need to be able to look at a map and be like, that's where Western Europe is, right? I know that France and Spain and the UK are all considered part of Western Europe. Both human and physical geography oftentimes use the same sort of tools or skills, right? But they're used for different reasons. So in physical geography, you use maps to tell you where things are, to talk about certain landforms, and to compare the locations. In human geography, you use maps to obtain information, like all the maps that we just looked at, right? We can figure out where something is, but then how it relates to other areas in the world. Why do many Americans struggle with geography? Did you know that 1 in 7 Americans can't locate their own country on a world map? I guarantee by the time you leave human geography, you can point to the United States and probably Minnesota on a map and say, this is where we live. Okay, what your assignment is going to be is I would like you to write a 3 to 5 sentence summary in which you answer the essential question, right? So in 3 to 5 sentences, tell me what the difference is between human and physical geography. You can just insert a page on Notability right underneath this slide and just write out, this is what human geography is, this is what physical geography is.